This is how you can achieve a flawless beard in just 4 easy steps, giving you guys a decade's worth of barbering knowledge in under 10 minutes. My name is Dk the Barber, and I'm here to give you the best beard barbering content on YouTube. Welcome to Swift Tips, how to build better beards. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's pull out our blending clippers of choice and get to blending, because that's the first step. If you notice this big block right here, from where the haircut left off to where the beard starts, we have to blend that in so it's nice and smooth. You start off with the lever closed and you want to work down instead of up. You notice I didn't say the word fade, because when people hear the word fade, they think of like a skin fade, a taper fade, and you would have to blend up doing those type of haircuts. We're going to be blending, so we're going to be blending down, same exact steps as if any other haircut, but we're going to be applying it to the beard. Okay, so you want to start with the lever closed, and as you work your way down, pull that lever back. Now you're going to do this no matter what clip is on the clipper. We started off with no clip, then we worked into a 0.5, and now we're working with a 1 clip on our clipper. I want you guys to pay attention how I'm going with the grain. What this means is cutting with whatever way the hair is growing. I like to do this sometimes before cutting against the grain, because cutting with the grain cuts less, and sometimes you can blend the beard just cutting with the grain. Now that the 1.5 clip is on the clippers, you can close the lever on the side of the clippers and niche at it and pull that lever back as you work your way down, and also flip the clippers around and go with the grain once again. Now let's slap that 2 clip on our clippers and repeat the exact same steps that we did with the 1.5. I'm not just teaching you how to get a perfect beard, but I'm going to teach you why I do what I do and the reasons I do it, okay? So make sure you stick with me to the very end, because I'm going to give you guys the reason why I use the with the grain method on his beard. But let's go ahead and continue and knock out this mustache. Grab your blending clippers, lever open, no guard on your clipper, and I want you guys to scan over his top lip with these clippers. What this is doing is making it about a 1.5 length, as long as you don't lay the clippers all the way down on his skin. We're gonna do the same thing that we did on the side of his face on the beard. We're gonna blend his mustache in the exact same way. Start with the lever closed, work the lever back. First clip you want to slap on there is a 0.5, and so on and so forth. Now we have the 1 clip on our clippers, and we're gonna repeat these blending steps. Quick side note, when you don't have a clip on the clipper, be careful when working around any orifices around the face. You don't want to actually nick or cut your client. Now let's hop into step number 2, edging the beard. Pull out your trimmers of choice. I'm using the Sabers by StyleCraft. What we're going to do here is keep the lines as natural as possible. If you noticed in the beginning of the video, we didn't trim the center of his beard. We're leaving everything nice and long. So what we want to do is use his natural lines as guidelines. Have your client look up when edging underneath the beard. This naturally stretches the skin and reduces skin irritation underneath the neck. Plus, it helps you get a straight line. I want you to pay attention how I'm using his natural guideline to his lips to edge between the hair and his lips. You want to do this no matter what client you're working on. What this does is enhances the client's natural facial features. And as far as the mustache itself, you want to keep these lines about at a 45-degree angle. Let's go ahead and switch sides and repeat step number 1, which is blending. The reason we're going back to step 1 is because for the purposes of the video, I like to stick to one side of the face at a time. So now that we're on the opposite side of the face, we're gonna go ahead and hop back into step number 1. Pull your blending clippers out, and let's go ahead and make sure that lever's closed. Start off with the lever closed, and as you're blending down, pull the lever back. Then you want to slap that 0.5 clip on your clippers. Repeat the same step. Lever close, and as you work your way down, go ahead and pull that lever back. Now you're going to want to do this no matter what clip is on our clipper. For example, the 1 clip is on our clipper, and we're going to pull the lever back as we blend downwards no matter what clip is on the clipper. Then so on and so forth. So the next clip would be a 1.5, then a number 2 would come after that. Use whatever clips you need to complete the beard that's in your chair at that very given moment. It's as easy as counting. Now let's go ahead and push forward. Now, I told you guys earlier in the video I would give you guys the reasoning on why I use the with the grain method on the beard, and I'm here to tell you right now. I use this method on curly or coarse hair because curly hair tends to coil up and shrink down, so when you cut it, it perceives to look shorter than what it actually is. And as I explained earlier in the video, if you cut with the grain with the 1, it's the same as cutting like a 1.5 against the grain. So what I like to do is use this technique when I'm working with curly or coarse hair. And and that's why you see barbers cutting with the grain when they're cutting waves, because all waves are is laid down curly hair, and when you're cutting with the grain, you're enhancing that curl, which is giving that dip effect in the hair. But let's go ahead and hop back into step number 2 before we progress. Pull the trimmers out, and remember, especially for you beginning barbers, keep everything natural. The reason I tell you this, guys, is because when you keep everything natural, you're taking less off, and it's better to take less off when you're working with the edges of someone's hair. Next, let's pull out that straight blade razor, which is actually step number 3. So this is the guideline I'm gonna use. We're gonna be attacking the top line of his beard with just the razor and the straight razor alone. Notice how I'm setting my guidelines first with the top, then at the bottom, and then what I do is kind of connect those 2 points, creating that half crescent, half moon shape that we're all looking for. Now, shapes, blends, and edges can all vary from client to client, and there's a whole bunch of different strategies and techniques to execute different styles of beards. If you're interested in taking your skills to the next level, go ahead and check out my playlist called Swift Tips. This video is actually on that playlist, and on this playlist, I have different hair textures, different haircuts, and all kinds of different surprises for you guys. But let's go ahead and continue back with the razor. So what you normally want to do is just trace everything you did with the trimmers with the razor. It gives it a sharper, more defined line. And what I just did with the trimmers was just get all the whiskers, okay? Sometimes what you do is you'll miss a hair or two, so sometimes I'll go behind the beard and I'll actually hit it with the trimmers again to make sure I got all the loose hairs. Now, if you notice, the opposite hand of the razor is always stretching the skin in the opposite direction. No matter where I'm hitting with this razor, I'm always adjusting my hands or adjusting his facial structure to make sure the skin is stretching. There's multiple reasons why we do this as barbers. For one, it gives a cleaner, closer shave, and for 2, it actually helps with razor bumps. And speaking about razor bumps, you guys want to use some type of shaving solution when you're shaving. Not only does this reduce skin irritation, but it helps the razor glide. Now, I've seen many great barbers use different shaving solutions when it comes to using the straight blade razor. Some like to use gels, some use shaving cream. Some barbers even like to use shaving spray like I used in this video. I've even learned a technique from tattoo artists by mixing antibacterial soap with water, making a soapy solution so you can shave your clients. Not only are you cleaning the surface, but you're getting a nice clean shave. Finally, let's hop into step number 4, the enhancements. I'm going to show you up top as a quick reference. Hold a card up to the hairline and you want to spray the side that has hair on it. This is a 90-degree angle, so it was an easy example to show you guys, but you want to apply this same technique to the beard. Now, I'm using the airbrush enhancement method, and I'll get into the brand of the spray I'm using later in the video, but I want to hold it about 6 inches away from the face, because when you hold it too close, it can get dark and patchy, and the whole point of the enhancement is to make it look natural. Plus, this is a semi-permanent, so it's really hard to get off. You have to use soap and water. It is water resistant, and that is exactly the reason why I'm using the straight blade razor on his face after spraying. I'm actually catching the liquid before it dries, and you can do this with the razor. It actually comes out with a really crispy line, but make sure you're really gentle, because the point is not to shave, it's just to get that enhancement off the skin before it dries, so you don't have to use any type of alcohol or soap and water on the beard. Then you would have to repeat all these processes, and that's not what we want to do. Okay, guys, so let's flip sides and repeat the process. Let's talk about brands for a second. So the brand I'm using in the video is called Tune 45. I found that this enhancement works well for me. Now, this can vary from barber to barber. Plus, there's all kinds of different type of enhancements, such as microfibers, permanent and semi-permanent hair dyes. If you want to see what kind of enhancements I use, check out my playlist called Swift Tips in the top right corner. Speaking about different forms of an enhancement, the marker I'm actually using right now is a form of an enhancement. Now, this one isn't permanent, but it's really easy to use. You apply it and just brush it into the hair, and by doing so, it gives it a nice crispy finished look. Now, I'm not sponsored, nor do I have any affiliate marketing contracts with any of these companies or brands I use in this video. I'm just giving you what I use and all the knowledge that I have to you guys for completely free. If I helped you in any type of way, shape, or form, smash that like button and subscribe and all that cool stuff. It's your boy Dk the Barber. Gotta go.